The loudest person in the room is not the most powerful one. They are the most anxious. Think about it. The person who fills every silence, who dominates every conversation, who makes sure their opinion is heard on every topic, what are they actually doing? They are performing. And performance is not power. Performance is the need for approval, dressed up as confidence. The person saying almost nothing is doing something else entirely. They are watching, they are processing, they are letting everyone else show their hand while they reveal nothing. And by the time that person speaks, the room listens because silence has made every word they say feel like it matters. This is not an accident, this is a strategy. And it is one of the oldest principles of psychological power ever documented. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 power principles that make the quietest person in any room the most dangerous. Not dangerous in the way that threatens people, dangerous in the way that commands them. Principle 1. Silence makes people fill the gap, and they always reveal themselves doing it. Human beings are deeply uncomfortable with silence. It triggers something primal, the need to know where they stand, what the other person is thinking, whether they are safe. And when silence appears in a conversation, most people cannot resist the urge to fill it, so they talk. And when they talk to fill silence, they are no longer speaking with intention. They are speaking with anxiety. They over-explain. They justify things that were not questioned. They share information they did not plan to share. They reveal insecurities, motivations, and positions they would have kept hidden if the silence had never appeared. The person who created the silence did none of this. They simply waited. And in that waiting, they collected everything they needed to know. Machiavelli understood this principle at the level of statecraft. He wrote that the wise man says little and observes much, because the man who speaks too freely gives his enemies a map. The same is true in every room you will ever walk into. The person asking the questions and sitting comfortably in the answers, that person is not passive. They are in full control. Here is the practice. The next time you feel the impulse to fill a silence, stop. Hold it for 3 seconds longer than feels comfortable. Watch what happens, watch what the other person does with that space. What they volunteer without being asked is the most honest thing they will say to you all day. My silence is not emptiness, it is information gathering. Principle 2. The less you say, the more weight. Every word carries. Words are currency, and like all currency, they lose value when there is too much of them in circulation. The person who has an opinion on everything, who contributes to every conversation, who never lets a thought go unspoken, their words become background noise. People stop really listening because they know more is always coming. There is no scarcity, no weight, no reason to pay close attention to any single thing because there will always be another thing right behind it. The person who speaks rarely operates completely differently. When they do speak, the room shifts. People lean in because everyone in that room has learned, consciously or not, that when this person opens their mouth, it means something. The rarity has created value. The Stoics called this economy of speech. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should say only what is necessary, not to be cold, not to be withholding, but because unnecessary words dilute the ones that matter. Every word you add beyond what is needed weakens the ones that came before it. The old you felt the need to demonstrate intelligence by talking, by sharing every observation, every insight, every reaction in real time as it occurred to you. The new you understands that demonstrated intelligence is far less powerful than implied intelligence. When you speak less, people assume more, and what they assume is almost always better than what you would have said. Choose your moments. Speak when you have something that changes the room. Stay quiet when you are simply filling space. The difference between those two things is everything. I speak with intention, or I do not speak at all. Principle 3. Observation is intelligence. The quiet person sees everything the loud one misses. While the loudest person in the room is focused on what they are going to say next, the quietest person is watching everything. They are watching who defers to whom, who looks for approval before speaking, who gets interrupted and who does not push back, who laughs too quickly at the powerful person's joke, who is performing confidence and who actually has it, who is aligned with whom and who is pretending to be. All of this is information, real, actionable, strategic information, and it is available for free to anyone willing to stop talking long enough to collect it. This is why Machiavelli placed such emphasis on observation as a core skill of leadership. He wrote that the prince who truly understands his court does not understand it through declarations. He understands it through watching how people move, what they avoid, and who they become when they think no one is paying attention. The observer sees the court clearly. The performer sees only their own reflection. Think about the most socially intelligent people you have ever encountered, the ones who always seem to know exactly what was happening beneath the surface of any room. The ones who could read a situation without being told anything. Did they get there by talking or by watching? The quiet person is not checked out. They are more checked in than anyone else in the room. They are running an analysis in real time that the loud person does not even know is possible. And by the time decisions need to be made, they are working with complete information while everyone else is working with fragments. I see more than I say. That is my advantage. Principle 4. Mystery creates gravity. People pursue what they cannot fully read. There is a reason the most captivating people you have ever met were not the most open ones. When someone is completely transparent, when you know exactly how they feel about everything, exactly what they want, exactly how they will react, there is nothing left to discover. The curiosity is gone. And without curiosity, there is no pull, no gravity, no reason to keep coming back. Mystery does the opposite. When someone is difficult to fully read, the mind does not let it go. It keeps working on the puzzle. It keeps returning to the person, the conversation, the interaction, trying to complete the picture. And every return increases investment. Every unanswered question makes the person who raised it more interesting, more significant, more present in your thoughts. This is not manipulation. It is simply the psychology of attention. People are drawn to what they cannot fully explain. The quiet person is naturally mysterious. They do not overshare. They do not perform emotions for the room. They do not let you see every card in their hand. And that restraint, that invisible withholding, creates a gravitational pull that no amount of talking, performing, or trying to be liked can replicate. Machiavelli wrote that the prince who reveals everything loses the ability to surprise. And the ability to surprise, to be more than people expected, to move in ways they did not anticipate, is one of the most powerful positions a person can hold. Stop explaining yourself. Stop oversharing. Stop trying to make sure everyone understands you completely. Let some things remain unresolved. Let people wonder. The wondering is the pull. My depth is not on display. It is what draws people in. Principle 5. Stillness. Under pressure signals a level of control most people have never encountered. This is the one that separates the truly powerful from everyone else. When pressure arrives, When the situation escalates, when someone attacks, when things go wrong, most people react. Their body language shifts, their voice changes, they get defensive, or they get loud, or they explain too much, or they go silent in the wrong way, the silence of someone overwhelmed rather than someone composed. The person who stays still under pressure does something different to the room. They create a different kind of silence, one that radiates control. And that control, that visible, physical, undeniable demonstration that this situation does not own them, changes everything about how they are perceived. It is not that they feel nothing. It is that they have developed the capacity to feel without being moved. To be fully present with the pressure without being consumed by it. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent, the ability to pause between stimulus and response, to choose rather than react. Epictetus wrote that between what happens to you and how you respond, there is a space. And in that space is your power. Most people never find that space. They react before they even know a choice was available. The quiet, still person lives in that space. They have practiced it. They have made it their default. The old you responded immediately to criticism, to conflict, to provocation, because the impulse felt urgent. The new you pauses, not because you do not care, because you understand that the pause is where your power lives. The person who stays still while everyone around them moves earns a kind of authority that cannot be argued with. It can only be felt. My stillness is my statement. It speaks before I do. Here is what you now know. 1. Silence makes people fill the gap, and they always reveal themselves doing it. Let them. 2. The less you say, the more weight every word carries. Choose your moments. 3. Observation is intelligence. The quiet person sees everything the loud one misses. Watch more than you speak. 4. Mystery creates gravity. People pursue what they cannot fully read. Stop explaining yourself completely. 5. Stillness under pressure signals control most people have never encountered. Find the pause. Live there. The most dangerous person in any room is not the one making the most noise. They are the one who has decided that their words, their attention, and their reactions are resources, and they do not spend resources carelessly. You already know which of these 5 you need to apply first. Drop it in the comments.